Alright, everybody, welcome to the podcast. Hope you don't mind the sound in the background. That is my work van. I do home remodeling and figured this would be a good way to get some opinions off my chest, kill some time while I'm driving from job site to job site. Well, my name's Isaac. I'm the host. You might know me as T1RD from YouTube. Not a big channel, so a whopping 7 people know me. Unless you came across my random video of my friend being spanked, which for some reason also has the most views out of any of my videos. I think it's up to like 9,500. And my friend constantly keeps reminding me that I need to take that video down because it's embarrassing for him. But I like to leave it up just for the sake of spiting him. So, I guess I'm not really a topics type of person. I just like to kind of get into shit and talk about bull crap as I go along. Right now I mainly work around DC area and all that, so I spend a lot of time in traffic, a lot of time, hearing opinions from a whole lot of people. 80% of them I don't really give two shits about. That's how I keep myself sane, is to not give a crap about other people's thoughts or opinions. That's pretty much what you're going to get out of this, is you're going to hear me saying shit that, you might not agree with, but I frankly don't give a shit. It is a habit of mine, and I am never going to stop it. It is who I am, it is what I do, and my friends all love me for it. If you get a chance, check out Phil Frederick. He's on YouTube, Facebook. He's a drummer, music producer, does really good shit on his free time. I really recommend that y'all check him out. He used to play for a band called Forcer. I don't know if anyone's heard about that. I mean, if you've lived in the Northeast, I can guarantee you probably have. If you go to small metal shows, he's no longer part of them, but that's where you would probably get your intro to Phil. Real good guy. He just trying to get things working for him. Yeah, kind of had that situation, and most people do, go to college, you get a degree, and then magically, there's no jobs in that field that you've gotten your degree, which too many people have followed. Me, I went routes of trade, learned my trade, got a job, have had stable work for past 8 years now, but not everybody gets that kind of info. Trade. I always recommend, man, if you're gonna go for work, if you're a guy or something like that, it never hurts to learn a trade. Trades are something that are never gonna run out. I mean, colleges you pay out the ass for. Usually, when it comes to trades, half the time you're getting paid to learn that trade, and then you're set up with a job right afterward. Unlike college, where you get a degree, and if you're lucky, somebody scouts you out. So it's our education system, in my opinion, is kind of fucked. Everybody gets fed the same line of bullshit, and they end up with fucking hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, in fucking debt. When I went to college, I went there just for friggin' 2 years, liberal arts degree. That was stupid as hell for my part. I did it because I wanted to make my mother happy, which I'm glad I did. But, student loans and all that shit fucked up my credit, and it's part of it, because for one, I've already paid off the loans, but then the loan companies say, oh, we never got your payment, shit like that. You hear it all the time. It fucking happens to the best of us. Also, yeah, hope you don't mind swearing if you haven't caught on already. Not children friendly. I'm in my mid-20s, and I don't have a plan to have this be children friendly, because what kid in their right goddamn mind is going to listen to a fucking old dude rant? Granted, I'm not old. I have kids of my own, but, that's the only thing that makes me feel old. I'm still a fucking dumbass at heart. I still like to act random and ridiculous and friggin' stupid when I can, but, 80% of the time I don't do that for the sake of the kids. They do all that work for me now. Terrorize my wife, and that's where I get my childish out, is just by annoying my wife for shits and giggles. That's how I find peace at life. And I'm sure she just loves me so much for every chance where I give her shit. It's one thing, and for anyone getting out there thinking about getting married, married turns your wife into the gayest dude you've ever met. My wife tells me that she's gonna fuck me. And I don't quite know how I feel about that, because she asked me if I want some dick. And that is the most awkward thing to ever be asked by somebody who most definitely does not have a dick. And that's why I tell all my friends, like, yeah, married, it's the same thing as, dating. You just put a label on it and everything gets twice as gay. So, the spice of life, Anybody who hasn't gotten to travel around the world, around the U.S., I always recommend it. I've traveled already across the entire United States. Been to almost every single state there is. Seen it all. Loved it all. It's a beautiful place. Get out, travel, it clears your head. Wonderful thing about working around the DC area is, you get to see the nation's capital. It's everything's a lot bigger than what you think from when seeing on documentaries and everything. Just the mountains in Virginia and, the Shenandoah Mountains, and Appalachian Mountains, they're all just beautiful. So beautiful. I feel blessed every day that I get to wake up, drive around, stare at the Blue Ridge Mountains on my commute into the office or on the way to my jobs. It's something I don't think I'll ever get over or ever take for granted. I lived in Houston for 3 years prior to this, and after seeing everything be flat and flooded with water, it's kind of nice to get back up to the Northeast where I'm originally from. I hate fucking cold though. Can't frigging stand the cold. It is the bane of my existence. Just the thought of snow makes my nuts shrivel up inside of me and I turn into a micro female with the world's largest clit. It's just god awfully unpleasant for me. I tolerated it for friggin' 20 years. Never wanted to tolerate it again, but I really miss the mountains. So, here I am again, after telling myself numerous times I wasn't going to do it. Tell yourself not to do something, and then when the wife says you're going to go do something, you can fight only for so long. My wife is the most adamant woman. When she has her mind made up about something, she's going to keep bringing it up to me every single day for the rest of my life until I do it. Which, that's annoying, but it's not like it's freaking like, oh my god, my wife's bitching it. Like, it's women. That is women for you. You live with them. You can't live without them. I love that woman to death, even though she's a pain in my ass. I met her 4 years ago and kind of insta-familyed my way into starting up my family. It was a real scary scenario at first. I mean, she had just had a kid. The person before that she had the kid with, he wasn't the greatest person in the world. Let's just leave it at that. I don't want to, be an asshole to people that have made some seriously stupid mistakes in their life. It's certain mistakes that I can judge them, but I'm not gonna, put their business out there for the world if, it's not my place. I insta-familyed up my wife. She already had her daughter, and it's my daughter now. Been my daughter for 4 years. And we had another kid, me and her, after being together for about 2, and I don't treat my other daughter any differently from the one that's biologically mine. That They both call me dad. I'm the only person they've ever known as dad. You know, I'm not. Why should I treat one differently from the other just because of the fact that they didn't come out of my ball sack? That's just fucked up to do. I mean, I've seen it happen before. I wouldn't want that to happen to freaking my kids. The only person I ever really had in my life for the majority of it was my mother. And my father, he never really was in the picture. Now he is. I mean, I talk to my father now. Me and him finally had, reconnected after I turned 18. I mean, I had talked to him for bits and like little bouts every now and again, just to catch up. I never really hung out with him though, or he never was in state or anything like that. It would just be, you know, quick 15-minute phone call here and there, just to kind of catch up. But yeah, my mom, she was the only person I ever really had, and I wouldn't want. She treated all my friends, every one of them, like they were her own kid, just because of the fact that I was an only child. So instead of brothers, I kind of assembled my own, and I plan to actually have a few of them on as guests at some point. But yeah, I would never have my daughters, you know, get treated differently because one came from my testicles, the other one didn't. It's stupid. I've watched them both grow up, and I've taken care of them, kept control of every one of their needs. You know, I work, I take care of the family. My wife, she stays home, takes care of the kids while I'm working. You know, I support anything she wants to do. If she wants to, you know, sell jewelry or something like that, you know, I'm there, I'm supportive. I'm not gonna belittle her or do anything like that. Like, this was the decision we made when we got together. You know, I'll support the family, and as long as you just make sure to take care of the kids. You know, while I'm away at work, obviously when I get home, I help. I'm not a dick. I'm not gonna just, you know, oh, I'm done with work. Okay, now, you know, you still deal with the kids and stuff like that. Like, no, that's not how that works. When you get home, you know, you make sure to spend time with your kids, watch a movie with them, just talk with them for a little bit. I mean, even if they ain't good at talking, they just like hearing your voice. My youngest daughter, she's about to be 2, and she's finally learning how to talk a lot better. She's starting to get in sentences and everything, and she constantly is, you know, trying to carry conversations with me as best as she can with her limited language skill set that she's gotten. My oldest daughter, she's 4, and I mean, she'll talk your ear off all day if you let her. It's a non-stop stream of words. Having them talk is both the greatest and worst thing that can happen to you, because in fact, now they can tell you what you want instead of screaming, but then they just tell you all the time, and they just repeat it. Even if you're looking right at them, they'll repeat it 8 times. And it just made me understand why Yoda decided to up and die after all Luke's questioning. Just question you to death. But that's just kids, short attention spans. You know, if they ain't got flashing colors and noise, you know, they ain't gonna pay much attention to it for 3 seconds. You know, when they're trying to tell you something, they want you to acknowledge it, and even if you acknowledge it, half the time they're gonna tell you it again. Funniest thing I've encountered is my daughters now just trying to snitch on one another. My youngest beats up the oldest. How that works, I don't know. She ended up the stronger one out of the 2. She just likes to take her little plastic toys and clock her sister upside the head with them every now and again when she doesn't get her way. And then I have to sit there and try to not think it's downright freaking hilarious and comfort the other child. I don't know what it is about children, but they do shit like it's violent, but it's hilarious, especially when they hear you swear and then they follow it up by saying the exact same thing you did. And then you gotta cover your mouth and try not to crack a laugh while you're trying to tell them that that's a bad word. You know, don't say that. You know, it's not okay for somebody your age to be repeating. Never say that word again. But meanwhile, you think it's the funniest damn thing to hear your kids swear like that. I mean, as a dad, my wife is about tired of my dad jokes, and I always run them all the time. half the time on kids. Half the time I'm cracking jokes about my kids' workarounds for swears because they already start coming up with alternatives. And we always just have to tell them, no, that's a bad word too. All them workarounds, they're bad words. You don't go saying those workarounds. The last thing I want is my kid to go to school. Your daughter said you fucking bitch. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I don't want that to happen when I go to school. When they go to school, like, I don't want to get a call. Your daughter's in here calling kids hoes and bitches. And then I have to sit there on the phone like a deer in headlights, or go into a parent. Well, right now with the whole COVID deal, I doubt there's going to be much parent-teacher conferences. And I mean, my daughter, she's still got a year to go before she's in school, so that's why I'm trying to get it out of the way now and get her learning. Like, don't say this. You're allowed to say this. Don't say this other stuff though. Like, this is not good. Don't go repeating things that you hear to strangers, or don't be talking to strangers. It's an exciting thing, and it's fun, and it's just watching them grow up. It's been just the craziest thing of my life, seeing her start from this, being the size of a basketball to growing up into this little bean sprout weed of a child that now stands at my waist, and I'm just like, stop growing, kid. You just gotta cherish the time you have with them when you got it, because they grow up so fast. It's astonishing. It seems like the older they get, the quicker the years end up going by. For them, I know a year's got to be like a lifetime for them, but for me, I blink and a year's gone now. And I guess I attribute that to, is the older you get, a year becomes a smaller increment of your life. So that's why it keeps continuing to go by real fast, like faster and faster each year as you get older, is because it's just that smaller portion of your life, and your brain's not able to retain all that information throughout that year. So 1 second it's the 2019 turning 2020, you blink and it's already going to be 2020 turning 2021. It feels like just yesterday it felt like it was Christmas, and now we're already almost getting to September now. It's August just started. Everything's just going by so quick. It's hard to keep track anymore. I guess that's the exciting part about all of it. Is, you do what you can with the time you got. Try to make the most out of it. I hope anybody who's listening to this, with the whole COVID going on and everything, y'all are staying safe, Wear your face masks. I know a lot of people these days, that's a controversial topic, but my mother, she worked in the hospitals. She's been working in the hospitals, and recently she caught COVID, and she, and they ain't letting the doctors and nurses just run around there without face masks. She had gloves, face mask, hand sanitizer, all the means to keep this thing away, and she still managed to catch it. So, do your part. Just wear your masks, man. Just try to slow the spread as much as possible. It's not fun. My mother's been touch and go since she went into the hospital. She's, as of when I'm recording this, she's now been in the hospital for 12 days. She's been in a medical coma for 3. She was on a ventilator for 3 days, oxygen, and it's not good. It's scary. My mother's 61. She's right there in that age bracket with pre-existing conditions. If you care about your family, the least you can do is wear a mask and keep that spread down so you don't get somebody you love sick. There's nothing scarier than the thought of losing your mother in your mid-20s. That is a fact. That is the most terrifying thing. I was terrified when my daughter was going to be born, but that's minuscule. That's like a scary and exciting moment. This is like horrifying, just downright friggin' horrifying. Makes you question everything you know about life. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, my mom's old, but I figured, I wouldn't have to worry about this till I was like in my 40s. Give her another 20 years, and she's in her 80s, time when most people start to, decline and all that. Like that's something I was prepared for. And this was the biggest curveball life ever threw at me. She was supposed to come here for her daughter's second birthday. I mean, not for her daughter, but for her granddaughter's second birthday. And it's all kind of gotten screwed up. She was gonna come visit and take care of that, but then she got COVID and still has COVID, still in a coma. She's got pneumonia in both of her lungs. It's not pretty. It's scary, and I wish I could be there with my mother and hold her hand, be there for moral support, tell her you just keep fighting and everything's gonna be all right. You're gonna make it out of this. But with the lockdown restrictions that they have, everybody's quarantined, especially COVID patients. They don't let anybody in the hospital, so that means if she does die, she's gonna be doing it alone. Nobody's gonna be there for her. So the best I can do is leave her voice messages for the doctors to be able to play for her while she's in her coma. So hopefully, because they say that when you're in a coma you can still hear things, and I hope that's true. I always send her pictures, so if she does come out of this, the first thing she's going to get to see on her phone is pictures of her grandbabies and videos of her grandbabies wishing her to get better and hoping that she comes out of it. My kids, I don't let them know how bad it really is. They just think grandma's sick. I would just hate for them to have to see, not even experience that my mother's passed, or if she does, but to see me like that. I know it would hurt them to see me hurting, and that's something that also scares me, because I don't want them to have to worry about what's going on with me. I've always been, the supporter, the protector. I always keep my cool. I'm not. I try to, I'm always one to hold in my emotions. Try to keep them all under check. Don't let them get out of whack, especially in front of my kids. I don't want them to see me, screaming mad or bawling my eyes out. My kids, that's the one thing, to this day, my kids think I have a vagina. I won't even let them know what a penis is. Anytime my kids are around or I'm changing, I'm tucking it. They're gonna think Dad's just got a beaver, a big old hairy beaver chilling down there. Ain't no way in heck I'm gonna let them just ruin that perception. I'll wait for health class for them to learn that Dad does not have a vagina, but for all intents and purposes, you got one, your sister got one, your mom got one, Dad does too. Just don't question it. Don't ever question it. And that's I'm gonna keep up with that too. I'm gonna keep up with that facade that I've got a vagina. I ain't got no shame. I ain't afraid of it. And God, I'm married. It's not like it gets any action anyway. So as far as I'm concerned, it's non-existent at this moment. That's the one thing, you got aphrodisiacs that make people want to bone. Well, guess what? You slip a wedding ring on there, that's like the anti-aphrodisiac. That thing just shuts down for business. Your wife's obligation to touch your junk is gone. She does not need to do it one bit. Not anymore. Never again. Maybe for special occasions like your birthday, an anniversary, maybe Valentine's Day. That's why I hit my wife back, whenever she wants it, I'm just like, I'm not in the mood, I got a headache. Give her the same lines she likes to give me when I want it, and she don't. That's what you gotta do, though. Just play around, man. don't let things get monotonous with your relationship. Always do random stuff. Just last week I went out to the store. It was Wednesday. Went and bought my wife, this beautiful dress, some new earrings. Just because I got the job that I was supposed to go to that day ended up getting canceled, so I went out on a ride, went cruising around, and just decided, well, if I'm out having a good time, just enjoying riding around, then I'm gonna do something for my wife too. I went and picked her up some stuff. She loved it. People at the stores were looking at me all funny. They were like, "Oh, you looking for something for your wife?" And I'm just like, "Your girlfriend, your wife?" And I'm just like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I'm just looking." They're like, "Oh, is it a special occasion?" And I was like, No, not a special occasion. Just Wednesday." They're like, "Oh, it's not a birthday, nothing like that." Nope. No birthday, no holiday, no nothing. It's Wednesday. I just feel like doing something for my wife, seeing as I'm having a good day, and I don't know how her day is going, but I know this will make it better. And boy, did it ever. Those store clerks, they looked at me funny, like I was some new breed of man they've never seen before in their life. When I told them that I was out, had free time during my day, and I was just looking for something for my wife, they were like, "Oh, you're different than most guys." And they're like, "Oh, is it like your birthday, a special occasion?" I said, "No, it's Wednesday." I'm like, "Oh, then you're really different." I guess I shouldn't. I just care about my wife. I just do random things every now and again. It's not like I feel like I have to or anything like that. I love my wife. She gave me my kids. It's the least I can do. Just show her I love her. It's little things. You don't got to go out and blow a bunch of money. Randomly, I'll just. I'm at Walmart or something and I see a pair of leggings I think she'll like, and I'll just grab them. It's not like, my wife's not picky. It's not like she's like, "Oh, I need name brand this, Victoria's Secret, Aeropostale, American Eagle, all that stuff." It's like, does it look cute? Does it comfortable? Does it fit? She used to be like that. Used to only want to wear Victoria's Secret and stuff like that, As she got older, she realized, name brands don't mean as much anymore the older you get. It's all about practicality, functionality. Does it still look good? Does it fit? Does it feel comfortable? Yeah, and it doesn't matter, if you spent $50 for it, $10 for it. Half the time with expensive clothes, I can go to Walmart, find something the same price, and go screen print on a logo from a name brand if I wanted to for cheaper than what the name brand shit costs, because all they're doing is the same shit that I would have done. If I want to go get me a Nike shirt, why spend extra money for it's goddamn near just a regular Hanes t-shirt with a fucking Nike logo screen printed on it. It's just no point in spending the extra money for name brand crap. Like me, I don't buy anything unless it's on sale these days for myself. Because 80% of the time I'm going to get paint, drywall, dust, and everything else on it. So why should I go out and buy something super expensive that's going to get ruined while I'm working, or I'm going to wear it a handful of times? It's just not, it doesn't make sense to me to spend that much money on shit. Like, what do I care about what other people think of me? As you got from the intro of this podcast, I don't care about other people's opinions. I do what works for me, what I've been taught, or what I've just figured out on my own. It's just, there's no point in being so superficial to buy, only get name brands and be brand specific and all that noise. I think that this is gonna wrap up this one here. I've been on just ranting now for 30 minutes, so I think I'll give y'all's ears a break until the next one. Hopefully I have a guest for it. But if you made it this far into it, look up That One Red Dude on YouTube. It is the number 1 and then Red Dude. I got a couple of gameplay videos. I make I make beats every now and again, just, stuff to play around with. I was developing a little retro game, and that's kind of got the brakes put on it for the time being until I give myself a little bit different of a setup here. It's right now, it's only pretty much the hub world is designed. I got a few characters put in it, and but that's all. Everybody stay safe out there. Remember, that one red dude on YouTube. Bye bye.